And we're back. We're going to be working lap 28 this time by Robert Truex. Challenges Chris Johans for the lead. Truex has arguably been one of the fastest cars all race long. Bobby Portu remains in third. Todd Stater surprisingly moves up to fourth. And Michael White rounds out the top five. Coming into turn 3, Truex has an edge over Johans. Truex will take the lead and become our third different leader today. Dale Underwood led the field to the green, but Johans ended up leading the first 28 laps, and then, as you saw just a second ago, Robert Truex took over the top spot. Now looking from onboard, Todd Stater's number 25 Idolized Greenhouses SAR. Bobby Portu is in front of Stater. Portu has been in the top 5 pretty much all day, but he has never really made any serious moves to take over the lead. Mainly because the 64 was too strong for the 15, but it wasn't strong enough to keep the 2 at bay. And seeing the 2-car lead laps again just really takes me back to when Andy Pearson was wheeling that car. Andy Pearson is the winningest driver in Arla history. He earned 56 victories over a 30-year career, all of them coming in that number 2 car. Right now, Pearson drives the number 72 for the struggling O&D Racing. It's unfortunate that he didn't qualify for this race. Battle for third, Todd Stater and Bobby Portu. Normally, when a guy makes his debut, he's out there to log laps and gain experience, but not Todd Stater. He's aiming to win. I wonder what Michael White's thinking right now. I mean, he's been in this business for more than 10 years, and then all of a sudden, his new driver's outperforming him. Looks like White is about to make a move on Bobby Portu for fourth, and here comes Matt Scarano. He's Portu's teammate. He's going to do everything he can to keep the 0 behind the 15. Back up front, Truex continues to lead the way. Johans right behind him. And then Todd Stater looking to chase them down. Now, I've got to give a shout out to Tristan Roberts. He's currently running in 7th. He usually does not run up front. Last time he performed this well was at New York. Johans to the inside. He's got to run on Truex. Now, thank you, Robbie. I'd like my spot back. Here's an interesting view, the left side camera of Truex's car. Got a nice little view of those contingency stickers right there. There goes the 64. And here comes the 64. Truex has a run coming down the back straightaway, but Johans does have the advantage. Here comes Stater. He's looking to take second from the 2. Here comes Michael White in the 0. He's cleared Bobby Portu. Now he's got a run on Stater. The Minucci White cars are side by side coming into turn 1. Back up front, Johans has cleared the 2. He retakes the lead. Michael White couldn't get by Todd Stater, so he's going to have to settle for 4th. Your top 5 right now is Chris Johans, Robert Truex, Todd Stater, Michael White, and Matt Scarano. Scarano is all over the back bumper of the 0 right now. Got a back marker just ahead of the leaders. That is the number 50 SAR of Leslie Riggs. She's about 5 miles an hour off the pace. Riggs is the current points leader, but she probably won't be when this is done. I think she'd be lucky to remain in the top 5 when this is over. Leaders are catching up to her fast. Let's see how this shakes things up. Truex peaks low. I think that he believes that the 64 will be held up by the 50. Here she comes, and she holds up Johans. Truex sails right on by, along with Michael White. No! Riggs holds up Truex. Todd Stater gets forced up to the outside, along with Chris Johans. Now Truex peaks low. I think he's going to get by the 50. 16 season opportunity. I think he's going to take over 3rd. I think Tristan Roberts got hung out on the outside. 3 wide. I think Johans scraped the wall a little. Jason Bates moves up to 4th. Now, frankly, this didn't really change things as much as I thought it would. Yeah, at these speedways, lap traffic doesn't seem to cause as much of a disturbance as they do at tracks like Daytona and Talladega. Now we're on board Jason Bates. The top 3 are way ahead of him. Chris Johans continues to move backwards. Matt Scarano peaks low, but I think whatever opportunity he might have seen is gone now. I think that's just the way he's running this track. Yeah, it's really, really hard to tell with this view. There is Chris Johans. He continues to be held up by the 50. There goes the 90 and the 23. Todd Stater also lost several positions due to the 50. Now here comes the 86. He's going to dive low before Chris Johans gets there. Anthony Griffith and Vinny Enzo are side by side right now. That's a real tough break for Johans and Stater. Leslie Riggs has received a warning from the officials, but no penalty is expected. Back up front, Matt Scarano challenges Michael White for second. Dale Underwood moves up to fifth. Jason Bates remains in fourth. Scarano and White are side by side going into turn 3, but I think Scarano's going to win this battle. While the 16 and the 0 are fighting for position, Robert Truex is extending his lead. Jason Bates is closing the gap between him and the leaders. Scarano dives low, he makes it stick, and he's going to sail right on by the 0. Bobby Portu is in 6th, behind the 03 of Dale Underwood. Now we're riding on board Jason Bates. I think he's going to try to make a move on the 0. White is being really protective of that inside line. Jason Bates slides right up the racetrack. That's going to open the door for Dale Underwood. That's going to cost Bates. He let the leaders get away from him. Now here comes the 03. He's right on the back bumper of the 51. I don't think there's an opportunity for Underwood right now. Tristan Roberts remains in 7th. Todd Stater is in 8th. Ricky Navarro is in 9th. And rounding out the top 10 is Naruto Uzumaki. Now Bates is starting to get away from the 03. Goes a little bit lower than Michael White coming through the turn, but I don't think that helped much. Back up front, Truex continues to lead the way. I think Michael White is going to challenge Matt Scarano for second shortly. Despite the close racing we're seeing right now, I'd say we're at the point where everyone's trying to save their stuff for the very end. Their times are also getting a bit slower. I think the tires are wearing out a bit faster than we hoped they would. Yes, they have to be really careful at this point, because if you overdrive the car, you risk blowing a tire, going into the wall, and having your day end. This is Chris Johans. He's in 16th right now, thanks to being held up by the 50. Now he's facing a challenge from Tommy Piper and Neji Hyuga, although I think they're challenging each other right now. Whoa, Hyuga gives Piper a shot coming out of turn 2. That could have turned very bad very quickly. Neji Hyuga is not being a very courteous driver right now, although I think Piper could have given him a bit more room. Now Hyuga is challenging the 84. Here comes Michael White. He's going to rally back and challenge Matt Scarano for the second spot. Truex likes what he's seeing. He wants them to challenge each other so he can extend his lead. This is exactly what we've been talking about earlier. Tristan Roberts makes a move on Dale Underwood for the 6th spot. Bobby Portu has moved up to 5th. Jason Bates is still in 4th, looking for an opportunity. So far, that is not looking possible. Michael White takes over the 2nd spot. Now he can focus on chasing down Truex. Todd Stater is side by side with Dale Underwood coming into turn 1. Is he going to take Navarro with him? I think Navarro's debating about who to go with right now. I mean, personally, I'd go with Stater, because the outside line is not very strong. There goes Navarro. And the outside can hold off a guy on the inside for a while, but eventually the inside guy will overpower you. We're riding on board Matt Scarano right now. We're going to take another commercial break. We'll be back with, I'd say about 15 laps to go. Stick around, folks.